Hi everyone, welcome back to MovieJube. I'm Jade and I'm back with Jordan.
Hello.
And the two of us have just finished watching episode 9/the finale of Halo, the TV series on Paramount Plus. So we wanted to share our fresh thoughts with you all and just discuss it. So please make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're excited and comment down below your thoughts and let's get into it. So
That's spoilers ahead, of course, yeah.
yes, very big spoiler warning because obviously we're going to spoil every episode up to now by referring to it. So, yes. How do you want to start?
Give us your opinion. What did you think? You go first. You lead the charge.
I thought that I really liked some aspects, but overall it didn't blow me away.
Okay. Yeah, I like this finale.
Yeah.
I just get it out of the way and say I liked the finale. I thought it was maybe the most Halo we've had of the Halo TV show so far.
That's true, yeah.
The most Halo. I would agree with you. There is some certain, I'm sure we'll get into it, some little things that I didn't particularly love, that like choices that they made. And like some choices I'm not 100% sold on. And I also think there's a lot of fluff that they kind of like added on in certain aspects that are maybe like threw some stuff out there to see what worked.
Yeah.
For future seasons, you know what I mean? That they maybe won't pick up, and I feel like that was a bit odd. But overall, I thought the action was well done, and I enjoyed how they paid off most things that they set up. Not saying. I want to be careful because we are going to give a separate season review, but just for this episode specifically, I like how they paid off things that they set up in this episode.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of moments I really did like as well and thought were special, whether it have been when Silver Team was in that, I believe it's a Pelican, through space together, through this like gravitational kind of tear, I think it was. That was really awesome. I found that really like sci-fi fun, and I was really liking their dynamic towards the end of the Silver Team.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think a lot of the best moments in this episode from the entire season, and not even just like action, you know what I mean? Like I know a lot of people might be like, oh, maybe there's an expectation of too big of action, but as you said, I mentioned then a tense sequence that doesn't necessarily involve shooting, I thought was very fun. It had a lot of good character building between the Silver Team, and as I said, I don't want to get too much into the season, but stuff that we could have used a little bit more of, that instead of focusing on the other characters, this could have been more time getting to know the Silver Team. But what we got here, I liked the development of those Spartans in this episode, and seeing them on a mission, even just like their back and forth throughout the mission and not just the action-based moments, was really fun, and I enjoyed that, and it felt very much what I would enjoy of this show, Halo or not Halo, you know?
Yeah, like as characters and as people and as Spartans, like that kind of interaction and behavior. Yeah, I would love to see it all throughout. But it was good in this episode.
But yeah, I also actually got, like I've been saying as we've been reviewing these or giving an opinion on these leading up, that it feels kind of like a Spider-Man MCU situation where they're giving like an origin for Master Chief, and I still felt that this episode where I kind of am intrigued by the idea of them, John and Master Chief, being separate characters.
Yeah.
You know, like this idea of like, it's time for John to let go and Master Chief to come out. And I like that. I just think that sentiment works when we get more Master Chief. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and less John, like a balance between John and Chief.
But I liked that. I actually thought that was an intriguing idea and a bold sort of story choice. I don't know if 100% of it paid off for a lot of the season for a lot of people, but for me, I thought it was intriguing enough. I just I don't know what you're mixed on about the episode, but I think it is a cool moment, but when you take it in context of the whole season and this as a finale, I really think it was a bit disappointing that Cortana took over.
Yeah, I didn't love it.
I didn't love that. I like, obviously it's a cool visual.
Oh yeah,
it's really cool to see Master Chief to do that and become Master Chief that way and be a killing machine and just be this Spartan that can just take out the Covenant. But I really think it took away from John's development. I thought it was a moment that John should have had, and I understand how they built up to it, and it made sense. just saying on a personal choice, I didn't love that that's how they went down that route, and I feel like it wasn't really the payoff that I would have liked for his character. I think it would have been better if Cortana was like, John, get up, be the person you're supposed to be Master Chief,
Yes.
And Cortana help him realize that you've been fighting being Master Chief, but that isn't what Halsey, like, that isn't just Halsey. Master Chief is also you. You can both be John and Master Chief, and you can use them in equal measure. But look, as I said, that's me paraphrasing. I'm not a better writer than the writing team here, but that's what I probably would have preferred. I didn't love that. Like, I get that he was like letting go and fully trusting Cortana.
Yeah.
And I get that storyline was the payoff there.
Yeah.
But I would have much preferred that we maybe just kind of like really hit home him becoming Master Chief on his own as well, like using Cortana to help him, but like to take that moment on his own.
Yes.
And that's kind of the big thing that I thought was like,
I definitely agree.
Interesting. And obviously where we leave off, like, I don't even think it's a question, but like, it's like, is John going to be able to come back? Of course if we get a season 2 of the show, I don't know what's the future, but of course he'll come back.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, whether it's the future and he has a whole new team or whatever it may be, but yeah, no, I definitely think like it takes away from the fact that John, like, that this version of Master Chief that Cortana kind of was controlling is so accurate to the Master Chief that we know in games, and that's cool in itself, but then it also makes it feel like, okay, so is John never that kind of Master Chief in this world, only Cortana as Master Chief is? Like, it just feels like a disappointment when you realize that awesome, like, silent, stoic action can also be a part of it. And I found that there was so much subtext and so much emotion, even when Cortana Chief says nothing when Kai asks, John, like, is that you? And they look and then look back. I feel like that's so much more frequently the Master Chief we know, and it is possible to make a series with this kind of more typical Master Chief. It doesn't have to be an emotional John-centric version, but that's what they chose to do, and I completely admire that and respect that. But I guess it just made me long for a version where he was Chief just as much as he was John. Yeah,
I agree with everything you said. I also think that's why I don't necessarily think it was a great decision. They chose to make this a different iteration of John 117 and Master Chief himself, and that's fair enough. Like, it's a different show, it's a different canon that they've explained, and I just feel like you could have had the best, like, you could have had this iteration that you're explaining of Master Chief in this moment, whether it's like Cortana being like, we don't need John right now, they're right, we need Master Chief to save us, you know what I mean? Like, and then he kind of
like John
turns that switch, and he's like, I've got to do this, even if Cortana has a way to take out his emotional inhibitor, or put play, like, hit him with an emotional shot, or like an adrenaline shot that just kind of puts him like in this like
in his zone.
I didn't, and it's such a little gripe, and people in the comments and stuff, I totally get it. People didn't mind that, and they thought it was cool. You're getting the Master Chief action, and it still is developing one aspect of the story between Cortana and Chief. But I was just like, it's just it takes a little bit out that it's not John saving them, and I know that's why does John have to be on the save? Because I feel like we're following his story.
And like you said, his growth, as we've seen throughout the episodes, his growth to finding out his past, but that doesn't make him any less strong or any less capable or any less the Master Chief he's always been, but this kind of makes it feel like, he is less now that he knows and is emotional and is like this, like maybe it makes it feel like that, but yeah.
Yeah, and also I don't love what they done with Halsey in the episode. I thought there was cool moments, like with the clone was really cool, very Halsey, like she's smarter than them. But I liked I said to you earlier in the episode, I really like the build up, and I really hope they hold this tension of this conflicted relationship, because I find dealing, especially with something like Halo, even though people could look at the games and be like, they're just shooters, they're bland. A lot of what I really find interesting about the universe is how much it has these things like the Flood and these organisms and the Covenant and stuff, it has a lot of dealing in the grey. Some of the best moments in the games are like the Arbiter or Halsey, these characters that deal very much in the grey. They're black, they're not white all the time.
Yes.
And we see a lot of that with the UNSC. I wish that we dealt more in the grey with Halsey instead of like it kind of very much like, sure, maybe we're seeing that like she has humanity's greater good at her heart's core, you know, but they very much played her as a villain in this season, and I didn't love where we went. And also I feel like McKee's story was kind of what I said to you. I feel like they introduced 2 new characters, significant characters, which is Quan and McKee. Yeah. And I feel like they left them both like kind of like, let's throw their stories out there and we'll see how you respond. Like it's like they could pick them both up. Yeah. They could pick them up. They could also leave them.
Yeah,
and
true.
It just feels like either commit or don't. Like I feel like her character was like, if they don't bring her back, that's whatever.
Yeah.
I don't like. I feel like you could move you could move on with season 2 without that character. You could also bring her back, same as Quan.
Either
and I feel
way,
like
would make no difference.
And I feel like there's a real lack of commitments to those characters in a way that is like, especially as I won't get too deep into it, but Quan specifically did not need to be in the show, and even McKee. A lot of these elements that you're using, sure, she tied a lot to the plot, but you could definitely find ways to have it without her. So it's like I just feel like
they could have just done it where the prophets they obviously knew about the demon, and then they could have just been like, we are luring the demon to this planet and then we'll use him or something like that. Like they didn't need McKee.
You could have had a bit of MacGuffin that it's unbeknownst to all of them that the John is the one that can use it, you know?
Yeah.
Could have played it as a different angle. But regardless, that's
true.
I'm not we should I don't want to get into like writing the script and do it because we're not better than them. They're professionals. But that's here nor there. I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was good. I understand that a lot of people are going to really enjoy it as well because there's action, and I enjoy that too. But some of the character moments and things, I feel like resolved good. Like I think Silver Team got done really good in this episode, especially with Kai and what are the 2 others?
Riz and Vanek.
Riz and Vanek. I liked them, and I liked the interactions between Chief and them, and it was really fun. I liked Cortana and Chief up until a little bit of a story confusion. I was like, I wouldn't have went that way, but I liked all of that stuff. So overall, good finale. We will get into the whole season review next.
Definitely,
me and you will get together and talk about our whole season thoughts, because I have a lot of thoughts, and they're not overly positive and they're not overly negative either. I think, I have positive things to say about some of the episodes, and it's been a roller coaster, but we're here, we're at the end, we're at the finale.
Yeah.
Maybe the series finale, who knows? It might not come back.
Oh yeah, true. There's no.
I don't know. Maybe they might have already greenlit. Who knows? They might have already shooting it. I don't know.
But who knows?
But I thought Pablo Schreier did really well in this episode as well.
He did.
He's a good face actor.
Yeah, he's very visually expressive, facially expressive. Sorry.
Yeah, I also keep doing it. I hate the action was good here. Like CG withstanding, you're watching a TV show. It's
limited.
This is like these things do happen. It's not always going to look incredible, and I get that.
Yeah.
They were very ambitious with what they were trying with the camera work here and a lot of the choreography. So I applaud that. And some of the Spartan action was really dope to see.
Yeah.
Killing those grunts, you love to see it.
Always.
But
poor Ungoy that got his gas mask ripped off his respirator. That's not cool with me though. Shoot them, sure, but don't do that. That's not.
I wanted to see ones running with grenades at them, but hey.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe that'd be too weird.
What I was going to say is that the action is cool and pretty good for the most part, especially when they're kind of sneaking. And I like that a lot more than the like hand-to-hand stuff. A lot better, I thought. Especially which I don't know if that was just something that me and you completely missed, but I did not realize that brute is Atriox. Yeah, that went over. That's our bad, I guess. And people can tell us in the comments. Maybe everybody else's. I try to tune out of the discourse of people's opinions when we're watching the show, because I don't want it to like I see our comments and stuff. I know that there's certain things people were like, when Master Chief getting his horn on, I know some people are going to feel certain ways, I try to like tune out a fair bit of it. But I did not know that was Aatrox, and I'm watching with subtitles because at the start I couldn't hear Kai, and then it's just like Aatrox like scoffs, and I'm like, I scoff. I did not know. I was like, is that Aatrox?
Who scoffs? Like,
And then he got like the cut. I was like, damn.
they're truly making it Atriox, yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was just some like brute general or something, but yeah, straight up Atriox. So
and then we got to see more of the prophets. I liked them.
I like them.
I was really I was like hoping when Cortana took over Chief, I was like, get up and boom, boom, just like Halo 2 when you fight. Is it no, is it Mercy?
Mercy or Truth? One of
them.
One
you
of
get
them.
up. Is it Halo 2 or 3 where you hold on to their floating and you just absolutely wallop that man?
Bonk, bonk.
Yeah, I love that. I was like, come on, do it. That'd be iconic. But
that would be iconic.
yeah,
Probably too silly.
I keep like going down the path again at the point I keep getting sidetracked.
Sorry.
I don't like the first person camera angle with the gun. Stop it. I don't like it.
It doesn't work because
it doesn't even look like the game looks
that's
like.
literally what I was about to say. Like it's not even close enough to the game or close enough to being hyper realistic to work on either way. Like it just looks like they're doing a completely different game. And I'm like, why do that?
It's like Hollywood being like, look, we like video games.
Yeah, we love video games.
It's video game, and I'm like,
yeah,
not really.
games.
Like it's not really though. Like it's not really. Like you don't have to like. That's the kind of thing. Is like I like him when he wears his helmet. I like to have grunts and these things. They are really fun and fan servicey. That's one that we don't need. Like I don't think I don't know if much people are really yelling for them to continue to do the first person camera angle with the gun. Like it's not cool.
Exactly, because it's not like I'm against all that. Like I love when you hear the shield sounds or like when it's like the alarm beeping like do, 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 do. Yeah, exactly. But just don't need that first person look. It just doesn't work. I don't know. Doesn't.
Yeah. But I'll give this episode a 7.
Yeah. No, honestly, I'd give it a 7 too because I really did have a lot of fun with a lot of the moments, and I felt very enthralled. I felt very like, ooh, what's gonna happen? But definitely there were some parts where like, maybe people acted out of character or I'd want things to go differently. But yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna do the season review next.
Yep.
And I'm gonna like. We're gonna come in with hot takes, and Cortana's gonna take over. It's not me.
Yeah,
they cannot blame Cortana.
You can't even get mad at Jordan. You have to get mad at Cortana.
Alrighty.
Perfect. So let us know your thoughts on episode 9 specifically, and save your thoughts for the season overall because we will discuss that in the next one. So please make sure to leave a like and subscribe and hit the notification bell, and we will see you in that video. Say bye, Jordan.
Bye.